morning, Fairhaven staff. I just need to record this video for education in response to the plan of correction that we have for our latest survey. We had a 2-complaint survey that one was not substantiated, and that had to do with a resident's family who had called to say that we did not update the physician enough on her change of condition. And the second one was a complaint also made by a family stating that we did not investigate the origin of a fracture well enough. So with that, they cited us on 2 areas, F609, which is abuse, and F610, which is the investigation of a stated abuse. So in the language of F609, we have to report any allegation of abuse, neglect, exploitation, mistreatment, or injuries of unknown origin. And everybody needs to be able to know how to report that. So if you witness something, you need to let your supervisor know ASAP, or myself or Paul. And if there is an injury or there is an allegation of abuse, we need to report that within 2 hours. So you can't think about it, go home, well, was it, wasn't it? You need to report that to somebody right away if you witness something. Now, if there isn't an injury from the abuse or neglect, then we have 24 hours to report that to the state of Wisconsin. So for all intents and purposes, if you witness abuse, you need to report it right away. So how this pertains to injuries of unknown origin. So anytime there's a bruise, a skin tear, a fracture, an abrasion, a burn, we have to investigate that to make sure we know how did that happen. And if we don't know how it happens, then it's an injury of unknown origin, and that needs to be reported again within 2 hours. So how that all works, an injury of unknown origin is defined as the resident can't tell us what happened, we did not witness it, and also there has to be a significant injury, which could be a large bruise, a large skin tear, a burn, a fracture. So in the case of the one resident's family that reported, the resident had a witnessed fall, and then went out to the hospital a few days later, and upon doing the chest x-ray, they saw that she had a fractured humerus. So the state is saying that we should have reported it when we were notified that the resident had this fracture. So that's why now in the nurses, in point-click care, the nurses will be responsible for completing an unwitnessed and injury of unknown source incident report within point-click care, and it will guide you on what to do next. If you know how it happens, great. We don't need to report it, but it needs to be documented as such. If we don't know how it happened, then we need to do that reporting to the state. Again, whenever there's an allegation of abuse, neglect, misconduct, any of those things, we need to report that to the state of Wisconsin and then complete our investigations. I have 5 business days to get that all that paperwork completed and sent off to the state with our summary, and we have to substantiate or not substantiate whether there was caregiver misconduct. So that needs to be completed. So we will ask for statements, we will talk to all the staff, and then we will write that all down and send it to the state of Wisconsin. So CNAs, when you are doing cares, if you notice a new bruise, a new skin tear, an abrasion, anything that's out of the ordinary, we need to report that right away to the nurses so that we can get that reported. Any staff that sees any resident like bump into a wall or do anything, you need to let the nurses know right away in case it comes up as a bruise later. Now recently we've had a couple residents who have long histories of falls. They've come up with fractures that aren't part of their diagnosis. So according to the regulations that we have to report those as injuries of unknown origin, and we have to rule out abuse. So any questions on that, just let me know. So the incident report for injuries of unknown source is going to start April 1st. So nurses, it'll be in point click care, it'll be under the assessment section. CNAs, within point of care, you have an alerts tab that you can pull up, and you can do a custom alert to say so-and-so's got a bruise, but best bet is to, let the nurse know verbally or just write her a note and give it to her so that she can start that paperwork. So this is why it's so important that we report any probable cause of possible injuries so that we can get it reported in a timely manner. So again, any questions, if you have any regarding investigations or injuries of unknown origin or abuse in general, please come see me or Paul or any of the department heads, and we can clarify any questions you may have. And that's all I have at this time. Thank you very much.